Welcome to worship with the community of First Unitarian Church of Omaha. I am Sherry Lynn Brewer, and I'll be today. A special welcome to visitors. This congregation is a community of all ages and abilities. It is a community with a ribbon of gender and sexual identities. It is a community of diverse cultural and class backgrounds. We draw from many sources of inspiration and share common liberal religious values. Whoever you may be, we welcome you to bring your whole self into this community. Visitors are invited to fill out a visitor form if it is here in the pews in a yellow form in the hymnal rack or online on the YouTube. Thank you. I forgot the part about affirming our land. We affirm that our church occupies the traditional treaty lands of the Omaha, Oto, Missouri, and tribal nations, and express our respect as well to the Ponca, Winnebago, and Santee Sioux tribes. We invite everyone to support local causes, charities, and rights of Indigenous people. I'd like to invite Della forward to read our opening words.
do the candle lighting. Do the chalice lighting. And then the call to worship.
I forgot we had to do the chalice lighting. I would like to invite Kim Donovan forward to light the chalice, and we will read the words of the chalice. I think they're on the screen. Light of love, alive of all, alive in all creation. As we rekindle this flame, we kindle the reflections of sacred love of life. And now I would like to have Della read the opening words. And she will announce that.
Our reading this morning is Allow from the Poetry of the Presence, Practice of Presence. It's by Dana Fowles. Allow. There is no controlling life. Try corralling a lightning bolt or containing a tornado. Dam a stream and it will create a new channel. Resist and the tide will sweep you off your feet. Allow and grace will carry you to higher ground. The only safety lies in letting it all in, the wild, the weak, fear, fantasies, failures, and success. When loss rips off the door of the heart, or sadness saddens veils your vision with despair, practice becomes simply bearing the truth. And the choice to let go of your known way of being, the whole world is revealed to you through new eyes.
I invite you to arise as you are, if it feels good in your body, for opening hymn number 188. Come, come, whoever you are. Okay, that happens. Thank you, everybody. Our community offering this week, we practice for our spiritual value of generosity. As we take our community offering, Half of the designated gifts are donated to a local cause that resonates the UU values. If you prefer, you can give via your smartphone with QR code. In May, the Share the Plate recipient is Restore Dignity, which serves the refugee families in Omaha. They also disseminate important community news, information in multiple languages about community resources. Restoring Dignity helps with a focus on education and advocacy. Thank you all for your giving. Now we would like to take the offertory. Do we have people doing the offertory? Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm having fun, guys. Go ahead. Now we would like to do our joys and concerns and invite Colin McDonald up here. And if you so choose, you silently place a stone in the joys and concerns bowl to have a joy and concern shared aloud. The worship leader will write in the book in the back of the sanctuary or in the chat.
From Bob Bosco, saying a special thank you to all those involved in preparing the food and cleaning up for the celebration of life of Bob Jones yesterday. This allowed all of us to mingle freely and reminisce about a great human and his 100 years spent among us.
Now we enter into a time of contemplation. We wish to check your posture, gently close your eyes, and make your hands comfortable in your lap. Let us take a few moments of prayer or meditation, and I'll ring the bell after the period of silence. And I just would like to say, this is Mental Health Awareness Month. And compassion with gratitude, kindness and love support a healthy life. Thank you. So, just take a minute to have silent time. Thank you all for coming on this special day for me. Well, it is a special day for me, especially having Dr. Jai and Therese come here. Therese, I welcome you here today to my world of mental health challenges. It is filled with difficult mood changes and long stigmatized by lack of understanding. It is a disability. Recovery comes with challenges. Using the toolbox within and your love. Yes, yes, belief in myself, my spirit sings. I asked Dr. Jai Sookram from Community Alliance, Family Education and Peer Support Instructor from Community Alliance, to where I began my recovery journey back in 1982. There is where my toolbox began to fill. Let your spirit rise. I introduce Dr. Jai.
Well, thank you very much, Terry Lynn. And I want to add my gratitude that in spite of knowing who will be standing up here this morning, you still decided to show up. I asked another person from Community Alliance, Therese Vaughn, to join me in our presentation. And we also have the supervisor of our Safe Harbor Crisis Services here today. Where are you? Oh, way back there, Casey Lopez. Thank you so much for being here. And I want to thank Lynn Brewer. She told me you have no more than half an hour, so don't blow it. I think she means I better stay within the time we have. But she gave us such a heavy topic. I'm able to see it on the television screen here, computer screen here, and I'm going in 25 minutes. I'm going to have to tell you something about mental health, mental illness, family, and the spiritual dimension and its relationship to recovery. Does anyone else would like to take this over? I mean, I am all open to help. I do want to begin, though, by acknowledging with profound humility the sea of expertise I see before me. Each one of us, as adult learners, bring to this offering this morning our own profound ideas, life experiences, and valuable genius grade thinking, about the topic we're about to undertake. So I'm going to ask you to share with me, and it's the only way I do well, is if an audience talk back. Kindly, talk back kindly, but talk back in relation to what you are hearing. I do best when there is that interaction. I want to begin with spirituality and what that means to me. I am thrilled that the name of your house of worship is Unitarian, seeking to unify what appears to be a diverse set of ideas that constitutes spirituality. But when I think of the word spiritual, in the way I was raised, the word that occurs to me is dharma. And is Jesus part of that dharma? Absolutely. Are the teachings of the Quran part of that dharma? Absolutely. In fact, I cannot think of a spiritual path that cannot be described by the word dharma. Because in a real sense, the word dharma means the truth as it is, not with adornments or qualifications, but truth. One description some have used for talking about the dharma is, it is satyam, reality, what is real. It is sundaram, that which is good, and only purely good. And then Shivam is good, Sundaram is beautiful, that which is most beautiful. And so if you sit in a meditation and anchor your mind to that which is truth, that which is good, and that which is beautiful, an ordinary day becomes pure magic. Does that make sense? Right? Our spirituality is an awareness of, and the word awareness is profound in its usage. In this sense, it's an intentional, guided awareness to that which is the truth, that which is the good, and that which is the beautiful. And if that sensation, that thought, from sensation to thought stays with us, our kinship with the true spirit of all that we can possibly know is established. Religion for me is a kinship between myself and all that exists and whatever is behind all that exists that brought it into being. There is a sloka that I was raised with, and it goes, Tvameva mata cha pita tvameva, tvameva bandhu jasaka tvameva, tvameva vidya dravinam tvameva, tvameva sarvam mama deva deva. So all my life, that melody resonates in my being, and the words simply mean that God is my mother and father. God is my support. God is all my knowledge, all my wisdom, all my thoughts. There is nothing that I am that didn't proceed from the God, and nothing I can become that is not already part of the God. And much more, the God is much more than all this. That God is knowable, much is unknown, though knowable, but God is also completely unknowable. Not the subject of our knowledge, but more a source of our inspiration. So what does that mean ultimately? Is my time growing short? I hope you find in what I have said something on which to ground a faith. It is not an intellectual exercise. God is not the greatest thought you can have or the greatest feeling you can experience. It is something well beyond all that. But what it really means is that my religion is my personality. Every day, I am my religion. The one and the other are not two. Me and my religion is one thing, all the time. And if I ground myself, in the idea of what is truth and what is good and what is beautiful, then it becomes the foundation on which I walk the path, you see, to the Supreme. Now, does that make sense? One effect is you learn to find the magic. You find the magic in ordinary things. You find the magic in ordinary people. You do not have to be a celebrity for me to want to see you. You don't have to have discovered that light is the limiting velocity of the cosmos for me to want to know you. In other words, each one of us is supremely worthy of the attention of each other. And as I go about my life, I am sometimes in the line at the grocery store. You know, you pay for... One time I was being very nice to the cashier. She said, well, flattery will get you everywhere, but this is not free. But we should take the risk of being kind, of being courteous, of being caring for people we do not know. Our culture, and this is transitioning to mental health, our culture is filled with alienation. And alienation means that even though we are in a crowd, someone reminded me this morning, 8 billion of us are walking around. I am not distracted by 8 billion. The person in front of me, the people around me, are the focus of my full energy and attention. Okay, so we have to, and I like the message of the Unitarian Church in this respect, and in the words of Rabindranath Tagore, our world should not be broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls. Right? Okay, so I hope in this brief, I have the temerity to call it a homily. I have more time? Okay. In this brief foray into the spirit and religiosity, you find a gem, something at least that you can relate to. So the first thing I want to do is, as I transition to mental health, I'd like you to bear in mind the alienation I talked about, okay? Mental health, have you reflected any on what it might be? Anybody care to, people can talk back, right? Huh? People can talk back. Yeah. Okay, if you don't mind, anybody care to venture what they think of when you hear the word mental health? Yes. No, just in place. It'll save time.
Mental health, to me, it means a overall well-being of what your mood and your mindset is from a day-to-day basis.
Okay, your mindset from the day-to-day. Can you hear me? Yeah. Your mindset from the day-to-day. Okay, somebody else.
Go to the microphone and repeat that, please.
I'm sorry, you want me to stay here? Okay. Okay, the mindset, the day-to-day. Does anybody else care to venture? Yes.
Yeah, so he came up on the
Please.
Have you heard of the movie K-pop Demon Hunters? Okay, so they're these singers and they create this like magical barrier to like protect themselves and essentially their community from any forces on the outside. What I think mental health is the strength of your barrier that you create around yourself. And what really stuck out to me when you said, because usually when I have an interaction with a person, I'm just trying to focus on them. I try to block everything else out. You said focus on them and the people around you. It really stuck out to me. I perform music, and so I feel like that was like the common break.
Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you so very much. What I understood, mental health comes from something I put around me in order to retain my well-being. Is that a good summary? Thank you. Something I put around me to retain my well-being. And I wish we could keep this dialogue going, because the point we want to make is that when you hear the phrase mental health, a lot of people think of so many different things, of what it can be or what it is, okay? The research community in our country and in the world use a very simple definition to understand the result of being mentally well. And they define it simply this way. Mental health is the ability to do what we need to do on a day-to-day basis, and to form relationships through which we can get things done. It's a very functional definition. Notice it doesn't say anything about being happy or being sad or being anxious or having struggles, right? But life can be a very challenging reality for us. But in the world, we know we have imperfections. And these imperfections can be painful and can cause a great deal of suffering. Earlier, when I talked about spirituality, I hope you could see that your personality and your spirituality are very much alike. How much you have learned from the difficult experiences in your life, and from them created a way to live that is still magical, observes, if you will, the truth, the good, and the beautiful. One of the things I say to families is, family support is the strongest predictor of recovery in serious mental illness. But providing support to someone whose executive functions do not operate correctly for a decade will exhaust any one of us, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it? Isn't it a real challenge? Let me define mental health. Let me define rather mental illness for us now. I wish I had a pair of binoculars to see my notes, but mental illness is first and foremost a biological disorder. It's a biological disorder and is genetically driven. A biological disorder that is driven by our genetic code. Its onset is often triggered by some epigenetic phenomena in the environment. It could be a virus, it could be stress, it could be, and stress is a big component. If someone lives somewhere with someone who is abusing them, sexually, verbally, otherwise, if we become aware of that, part of our goodness is to put a stop to it by reporting it. and by ensuring that we all live safely wherever we live. So it's a biological disorder. It's genetically driven. It's triggered by environmental factor. Serious mental illness symptomology interrupts or interferes with our brain processing information properly. When our brain doesn't do that, we experience symptoms, right? If your amygdala fires spontaneously, you begin to feel things that you don't know where it's coming from. You might feel persecuted, you may feel in danger, you may begin to spin theories to explain your feelings, and in the process create a great deal of misinformation and behave in a way that other people cannot understand. You can hear things, you can see things, you can experience delusions, which are ideas no one can change your mind about. When we have such ideas, we call them convictions. When persons with serious mental illness have those ideas, we call them delusions. Okay? Wonder from time to time if your conviction is a delusion. Okay? It's a good exercise. Biologically driven, a biological disorder, genetically driven, onset by epigenetic causes, stress and other things, okay, interferes with psychological processing and has serious social consequences for the person and the society. There is no illness like unto this. Every other illness we have, our brain helps us to fix. Every illness we have, our brain helps us to fix. But this illness can only be managed. And to manage it, we need those around us. We need the church. We need the food pantry. We need the benefits that a government can provide. We need practitioners, people who have spent a lifetime learning and knowing how to do it. We need Therese Vaughan, we need Casey Lopez. And if you visited our table downstairs, you'll see all the services and practitioners, providers that we need. And more importantly, we need the family. There was a time when the treatment of serious mental health challenges was up to the person. And it's always of great dismay to me that the only Nobel Prize this field was awarded was probably the worst invention in the world, which is the frontal lobe lobotomy. Have you heard of it? And this is where we put an instrument into the brain and scramble, literally scramble, the prefrontal cortex. What is the prefrontal cortex? It is where our ability to pay attention resides, our ability to remember, our ability to look ahead, our ability to plan, to organize, to make decisions, our ability to regulate emotionally and otherwise. And that's what we are scrambling to cure the illness. What we found, of course, is it doesn't work, right? That the brain, even though it has dysfunctional parts, it can still heal itself. That symptoms are not chronic and consistent. They come and they go, and we have to learn to find the moments of clarity and work in those moments to establish a recovery plan. It took the Substance Abuse Mental Health Services Administration a long time to define recovery, which is managing this illness. And they came up with recovery is a process of change through which an individual lives a self-directed life, improves their mental and physical health, and strive to reach their full potential. And the reason I say that is because every family needs to know that. Their relative is still there. The relative needs them and needs the community. And the goal we're working towards are those precious moments, brief though they might be, of pleasant relationships with them, and through those relationships to design a family culture of acceptance and love. When my son came down with symptoms, one of the things we used to say to him is, we love you just the way you are. And some family members have said, but we want them to change, we want them to be better, of course we want that. But we can only get that if we love the person just the way they are. And I know there's a couples therapist in our midst, and I'm sure one of the things she tells couples is, yes, we have a solution to these problems, but you have to love each other just the way you are. Isn't that right? Where is she? Correct? But if we want a solution to save a marriage or to save a relationship, a friendship, a family member, love, I think, is a place to begin. And if I ask a family to become the center of social life or organizer of some social life for the individual, I have to ask them to look to the roots of their spiritual foundations to understand the sacrifice that they are going to make over many, many years. Because this illness does not have a cure, but it is manageable. Recovery does not mean we no longer experience symptoms, but it means that we have learned to manage it through a process, a recovery lifestyle that we learned with the help of practitioners, providers, our peers, and our families, and of course, our own effort. When someone achieves a recovery, the recovery is theirs. It is their work. All of us can help. All of us can be friends and allies. But the individual with that genetic makeup and that lifestyle is the one that actually creates the change that results in their best life. Okay? A family's faith is seriously challenged by suffering. Individuals, right? Our faith, correct, is challenged by our suffering, isn't it? And I know sometimes we walk around and we look at what's happening in the world, and it's easy for us to conclude, is it okay to say hell? Things are going to hell in a handbasket, right? You know, it's like, but I caution you about the extent to which you become pessimistic, skeptical, the extent to which you become negative. The world should not transform us into monsters and disbelievers. That is in our hands. We can choose pessimism and a short, nasty life, or we can choose optimism and the best life we can possibly have. And this is ordinary, not extraordinary. You don't need great scholarship to understand and to live this way. Now, are there any reactions to what I've said so far? Anybody? You have a thought about it? Like, where is he coming from? You know. I got one thumbs up. Yes.
No one can hear you. No. The people out there.
Oh, I see, okay. Well, I think in any situation that feels negative, depressing, or sad, we can choose to dwell in that, to be submerged in the negative aspect, or to assume that something positive will come out of it, and that we can more or less float on the top of the negativity. And I've recently been faced with something that felt very painful to me, but I just decided I'm not going to dwell in the negativity of it, and it makes a world of difference. So I think we always have a choice.
Thank you. What I understood from that is, I don't know if age is affecting my hearing, but what I understood from that is, yes, we have choice, right? That we can choose our state of mind. We can choose how we feel. You see, we can manage our thoughts. You know, the moment the realization came to a human being that my thoughts are objects, I can look at them, I can understand them, and I can change them. The moment that happened, we stopped looking outside and we started to look inside. That is the birth of spirituality. The awareness that your mind is another sense and that you can manage it, you can control it. Certainly, if there are things happening that are, yes, I'll come to you, hang on one sec. Certainly, if there are things happening beyond our control, we reach for our supports, okay? And we do the best we can. But we can do so with an optimistic heart. We call it hope, right? Hope is the belief that things can change positively for me. Yes?
Just to add what Elaine said, yes, we can choose how we are going to be in the day, in the moment, our mindset, which I have learned to do. I believe people with mental health, they need added help, medication and such, and great support. My mother had schizophrenia, and my sister has it. So I do know, I've lived that struggle through them. And for me to say, to change my thinking about all that and feel very blessed, you know, because of my choices I've made, but it's still a different aspect when you're mentally ill. And then you need a med adjustment every so often. You know, I've seen that whole process. But that's all I wanted to add.
Yeah. Well, it was wonderful, wonderful addition. We appreciate you sharing that. Yes. Let me say a few words now about Community Alliance Mental Health Center. This was an organization that was founded by families. In the years when we had a Lincoln, Hastings, Norfolk regional centers, and people would come home after discharge, after some symptom remission, they would come back to Omaha and other communities, and they had nothing to do. we know one part of recovery is having a daily purpose. And if you are hanging around your parents' home and don't have anything to do, pretty soon the symptoms come back. And so a few families, people like you, gathered around a kitchen table. They brainstormed, what do we do when our children come home? And they had a place on 38th and between Leavenworth and Harney. They found a house there, and Carol Boy and Aileen Brady and a few other people were the staff, and they had just 4 or 5, Dana was there too, 4, 5, 6, 8 people who are looking for something to do, and something magical happened. People saw what a profound effect having some structure and some things to do that were meaningful to the lives of the people going there, what power it had. And in 1981, they got a brand new building at 40th and Leavenworth, right across from the university. And the population being served grew from 8 or so to 1,200. And the budget grew from a few $100s to over $5 million. And the people of Omaha saw the impact of that organization on this community and other communities. And 2 years ago, in 2024, citizens in Omaha, and their name is on the building, they were able to raise $35 million and to build the current community mental health center at the corner of 72nd and Mercy Road. And we have been able to expand our services to become a fully licensed, if you will, and accredited program that cares for people's mental, physical, social, and spiritual lives. I highly recommend that if you have a friend or a neighbor who is experiencing mental health problems, that you give us a call, 402-341-5128. And if you can go downstairs to the table we have there, right, you will find our literature. It talks to you about all our services. And it talks to you about how to get in touch with us, how to connect with our rapid response team, who will, try to get you the services you need as quickly as possible. And we have some phenomenal people there. Therese Vaughn is going to lead us into a prayer, or a little meditation rather, after, this presentation. But I urge you to take that literature when you downstairs. And come visit Community Alliance. Our publicist, her name is Kristen Beat. If you call Community Alliance and ask for Kristen, she'll be glad to arrange a tour for you to come in and see the building and meet the people and learn more about the services that are provided there. And like Terry Brewer, you can begin to put more tools in your toolbox. Right? More tools in your toolbox to manage to overcome serious mental health issues. Okay? I'd like to end my presentation there. I think I have 4 minutes, and I'd like to, I don't have 4 minutes? I'm done? So I'm done? I exceeded my time?
Well, yeah. I don't want to,
Well,
this is a new
thank you.
building.
Thank you very much, and my apologies.
I'm inviting up Therese Vaughn, who will do a brief meditation.
Thanks, everybody. Can you hear me? My name is Therese, and this will be a little guided meditation for self-compassion. So if you'd like to close your eyes, if that's comfortable for you, take a soft gaze, settling into your body, allowing the tension to drain out, if that's possible. Taking a few deep breaths in, noticing the rise and fall, the ebb and flow of the breath. Our breath is our home base. It's always with us, and it is always in the present moment. So now, grounding into the earth, feeling the gravity rise up to support you. Call to mind a situation where you're struggling a little bit with mental health, any internal experiences, or a family member. Bringing that to mind, and touching into the feelings, the thoughts that arise, the pace of those thoughts. Find where in the body those sensations are. Might be a sense of contraction in the heart, jaw tightening. Wherever it is, just holding it with your wise, loving witness, and your awareness. And touching into it, the first part of self-compassion practice is just acknowledging our struggles, our stress, the pain that we all experience. Letting it be held in our awareness. And so you might say, using language that's right for you, this is really hard. I'm struggling here. And creating a relationship with your own suffering, holding it with kindness, with compassion. In the second part of self-compassion practice, we open to the common humanity of our internal experiences. All humans who have ever lived and who are living and will live will experience these same conflicts, internal, external, same sufferings. You might say to yourself, I am not alone. All people feel this way sometimes. I am not alone. And finally, we will call upon our great family tree, our ancestors. Our ancestors love us beyond measure of time and space, for we are their most tender acorns. Let us call for their blessing, sensing them rise their roots, reaching up through us all the way to the heavens, from where they are sending their benediction to us, blessing us. Now call upon a figure of the divine in whatever form that takes for you, and asking for the compassion, the love, the support that we all need. For blessed are those who trust in the Lord, for they are as trees by the water. They will not fear when the dry winds come. They will not fear this age of tyranny and war. And their leaves will remain evergreen. So returning to your breath and your body, you can return to this meditation anytime you want. Carry it with you. You're free to open your eyes. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Therese. If you'd like to stand as you are able, our closing hymn is Let It Be a Dance. Our closing words are happiness, joy, self-empathy are yours. Let mindfulness be your friend. You are not alone. Namaste. And